Were terrible as they lost their first match since September. Eden Hazard not starting in that game. He come on in the second half. Ancelotti said, I prefer to start with Asensio and Rodrigo. I knew that they could not do 90 minutes because they have had COVID. I had Hazard for the second half and he's been brilliant. He has tried to create with Marcelo down the left. He must have been watching Hazard with your commentary on FIFA, Robbo, because the Hazard that we have seen has not been the one that has been quote-unquote brilliant.
No, he hasn't been brilliant. I mean, I think people have criticised him a bit too readily. You can see he's tried to do the right things. He's tried to link up with people. He's tried to make the right sort of runs, but he's lost that yard of pace. So he doesn't go past anybody particularly easily. So he's having to play 1-2s. He's having to play in front of people. He hasn't got that bit of pace to run beyond people. And that's what made him a great player for Chelsea and for Belgium. When he got himself turned, went 1v1 against people and went past them. He hasn't done that in the games he's played for Real Madrid ever since he's been there, really. And you have to say that it was the injury that started it, but he hasn't got that fitness back, and he's lost the confidence, and he's lost that bit of pace, so he's certainly not been brilliant.
Ancelotti just playing the game, though, Robbo, I suppose, just saying what needs to be said.
Yeah, absolutely. He's trying to build his confidence up, and absolutely right. He's an expensive player. They're not going to be able to get rid of him at the moment, so he's got to build him up. He's got to keep working with him. Hopefully, he can get his form back, and he'll be a top-class player again. It seems unlikely at the moment, but I hope he does get his form back.
Robbo's hope's not going to help things, though, is it, Gab?
It's going to take more than that. Again, you're going to accuse me of being a little too tight with Ancelotti when I say I think there were some sparks from Eden Hazard, especially off the ball. But I think it is important he got on the pitch. There were some suggestions he would actually start this game. Instead, Ancelotti eased him in there because, as I mentioned before when I said they weren't that bad, they gave up a goal on an individual mistake after, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then they spent the rest of the game against, when Getafe parked 3 buses in front of the goal, trying to break through. And then there was no Vinicius. Obviously, they needed Hazard's trickery down the left in the second half. It didn't work out. But Ancelotti thinks he can give you something different, but he doesn't really have a choice. Hazard, with those wages, isn't going anywhere. What they don't want is for Hazard to turn into Bale 2.0. That would be pretty much disastrous. So you do everything you can to keep him in the fold.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.